One thing that a lot of people have wanted me to talk about, and it's something I've been kind of dancing around actually for a while now, is the ending of Fairy Tail itself, and one of the possible outcomes that can actually happen at the end of the series, and that is Natsu's Dragoneel's death, or more importantly, how would he die in the series? Now, just to say this right from the start, this is all just speculation from the start, with a little bit of more like evidence I have. Well, this could be one of potential situations that could end up in Fairy Tail, where I think that Natsu, in his E.N.D form, could have a possible death scene. Now, one of the first factors I want to bring up is actually the latest volume of the manga itself, talking about volume 52 that came out in English-speaking languages. Right at the bottom here, I'm going to show you in the actual thing, it says there, if people can see that, Ragnarok's final battle begin. And it's talking throughout this entire volume as the start of the Albalez kingdom, as it has been in English speaking language, that the next pronunciation of it is Albalez, although in the Japanese they will pronounce it Alvalez. It's a very hard speaking language to actually say for the Japanese, and that's why they have the. A lot of it is going into that this arc that we're currently in is going to be the final arc in Fairy Tail, and there's been a lot of speculation going into the E.N.D situation, Zeref being involved, Acnologia finally being able to have this final battle and taking down all the Dragon Slayers. Now let's talk about exactly how Natsu would die in this situation. Let's say in the situation that we are right now, let's move a couple of chapters ahead in the manga. Let's just say that a lot of the Spriggans have been taken care of. Let's say about probably 10, 11 of them have been taken care of right now. Maybe there's one left or something that's still going on at this point. And Natsu has awakened from his slumber, finding out that his comrades are in danger due to Acnologia finally being able to strike and going after all his comrades, not just the Dragon Slayers but all of Fairy Tail himself. Meanwhile, you've got Zeref as well on the opposite side, clashing as well in this giant war that could nearly potentially destroy this continent as we know. Natsu, obviously, because of the sort of character that he is going to go in guns blazing without thinking about anything at all, and he is going to try and stop and clash with both Acnologia and Zeref at the same time. Also, we can see that a lot of the characters are going to go chasing after Natsu, as he probably isn't fully recovered yet, and during this sort of event, he is actually going to trigger the E.N.D form, which is going to arise when maybe he sees one of his comrades fall down, or maybe when he sees all the chaos and destruction that Zeref and Acnologia are bringing around him, since he is still very weak from the attack that he had previously. The Dragon King mode was pretty much, I'd say, his last defense, trying to hold out the E.N.D as we know, and as we see from right now, that was the last part of Igneal's power that was given to him. And the main reason that we had the dragons inside them for the first place was this whole straining thought to stop them to turning into a dragon. However, what Natsu, since he was bioengineered by Zeref himself, is that we're going to have this half metamorphosis transformation as we've seen with the Dragon Eyes color page, and also as well what everyone has depicted what E.N.D will be like, which is him with having a demon horn, the scales, so on and so forth. And this is going to prompt him to attack not only just Acnologia, but also as well Zeref, and going into a massacre. And this is where it should be now known as Ragnarok. If people don't know, Ragnarok actually means final gods or end of gods. The sky will be pitch black, everything will just be in absolute chaos. Even the Dragon Slayers that are there, that are left, are probably injured and probably out of energy to even do anything. Albeit through this, Natsu is probably going to be using both of them and trying to clash against them, trying to go against one another, and even so, going against all of this, Fairy Tail, probably still on the side, is trying to use Fairy Heart maybe as a weapon, as their last possible resort. But Lucy is saying no, they don't want to because Natsu's in the way, although Gray finding out about this, he's like, he doesn't care, he just wants to fire the weapon. That thing is a monster, not looking for his comrade Natsu or what he used to be. And this is probably going to prompt at one part of the series that we're going to see, is that maybe Natsu's going to fall to the sky a bit, maybe we get to see Acnologia slam into the ground, and that's where we're going to see the possible scene, little fan recreation, as you can say, of what possibly might happen. That maybe there's a shred, a bit of Natsu left inside of him, and he's saying, please protect everyone, get away, save my family, and we might possibly see a kind of kiss. Another factor that can go in why this might actually happen is that a sort of similar ending actually happened in Rave Master, and not going into too much deals with that, but it kind of happened in a similar way. But mind you, just because of the death scene, mind you, doesn't mean like characters can come. We've seen a lot of characters come back and all that, but we can see from this bombastic emotional finale what's going to happen to Natsu Dragoneel in full detail. He's probably going to finally fully like get it into the E.N.D form and transform into a dragon, and he's going to take down Acnologia, and probably at the same time as well, with the last shred of his power, probably going to be able to take down Zeref as well. Albeit we don't still know what means we are going to see that actually take down Zeref, as he is immortal and he has got the Ankasarian curse, but the more he loves stuff and all that, the more powerful he'll become. Maybe Zeref at this point might be weakened, seeing that his little kid brother has now turned into a full dragonized monster and he can't love him for that, and he just wants his little brother back. Maybe this might be the last little snap of the old Zeref that they used to know. And maybe this would be enough for actually Natsu to get in there and actually be able to slash him. Maybe this could be the potential thing, if not the Theory Heart or any of those things, try and attack Zeref and somehow either imprison him or destroy him finally. In all possible factors, I really don't see any of the other Fairy Tail cast coming in to help. Whether or not we could see like Lucy Heartfilia with the 12 keys, they might have some effect, because I do believe that the Celestial Spirit World might be involved in some way. We have already seen like insane powers like God takeovers, like controlling a time. It wouldn't be a shock if something like Celestial Spirit World, which involves a lot of space-time kind of like manipulation in it, is used in some way. Albeit we don't know what kind of plan we could have to see that, whether or not they're going to be implemented or not. The fact of the matter is that this is something that could potentially happen, even though we still got only the start of the Spriggan 12 actually happening here in the English release right now. And even as well, with all that being said, this is still up to speculation. This is just something from the Fairy Tail fan that I personally feel like that could happen one way or another. I always like having a happy ending. I really do like having something like that. Like, my ideal ending is like, yeah, Natsu maybe comes back, maybe like everyone thinks he disappears after a couple of years, he somehow returns on some like Yu Yu Hakusho kind of like effect, comes back, and then we finally get to see this whole thing about like Natsu and Lucy being together and having a kid, and like everyone's all paired up. Like you see like Juvia and Gray have had a child, Elpham and Mira Jane and Lisana, they're all happy together, they're all with their pairings. Like Lisana's with Freed for some reason, Mira Jane's with Laxus, Elfman's with Evergreen, Archie's with Letty. Like, I want all these pairings to actually happen, and this is something to be an actual genuine thing. One of the things that has been really stated at the start of an interview with like Hiro Mashima is that Raidmaster was very depressing. He wants like Fairy Tail to be a lot more happier, so if he does go into a lot more darker stuff than we originally thought, I still believe that Fairy Tail would have a very happy, light-hearted kind of ending than to most series. Honestly, that's just the kind of mangaka that he is. He likes doing happy kind of like stories, like happy-go-lucky stuff. He likes doing, making sure that the people that are reading or watching the series have as much entertainment as possible, even though the story isn't the most well written. Then again, this is just all fan theories from yours truly and all that, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people have made this speculation before on the series, so it isn't really anything too new. It's my 2 cents on the whole matter, and honestly, if you enjoyed this video, I hope you did. You know, hit a subscribe, that really helps me a lot, and also as well, a like as well, that greatly appreciates as well. I hope you enjoyed this video. A little bit more different tone for this one this week, but thank you very much for watching as always. If you want to see any other Fairy Tail discussions that I have, just click down below. I've done some great ones down below, and just thank you very much for watching as always, and I'll see you guys next time.